And I want to talk about Stellenbosch from this perspective. We all know Stellenbosch FC is going to be playing in Africa. We know that Stellenbosch FC has positioned itself as a team that wants to take the next step, that wants to compete with the big boys, that wants to, hopefully in the next 4 or 5 years, become a big team in their own right. So, can't be surprised. I'm shocked when we're hearing rumors of players moving out. We've heard rumors about Adams. We've heard rumors about Reyners. We're now hearing rumors about Toure, one of their star centre backs. We're hearing rumors about all of these players. And I find myself thinking, what do you want to do? They asked the CEO of Stellenbosch about players leaving and all of that, and he said, he didn't want to say too much, but and I'm paraphrasing, he didn't want to say too much, but basically also said that teams all over the world sell players. It's hard to keep a hold of everybody. It's hard to do this and da 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 and da 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 and da 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 and da da da. But just a couple of months ago, Coach Barker had come out and said, we made a decision to move in a different direction. They had made a decision that they would stop selling players. They would try get a core team that is going to stay with the Stellenbosch. And I know it's premature. We still have to see how it moves. I'm just worried about the things that I'm hearing. But anyway, he said he wanted to get a core that was going to be with the team for many years and a core that they could build around and trust to stay with Stellenbosch. Guys, I don't know, again, what advice Stellenbosch got from Mamelodi Sundowns. But we've seen what African competition does to teams that are not experienced in it and also are not willing to finance things. We've seen what happens to them. We saw Imaruma Gallants get to, I believe it was the semi-final of the CAF Confed and be relegated in the same year. We've seen Abu Royal AM Amazulu flying high. Then they go into continental competition and they drop. But really, what I want to have this conversation about is, are you serious about what you say you want to do, or are you not? Mamelodi Sundowns might shed some players, but Mamelodi Sundowns brings in, you would say, at the same rate that they let out. Sometimes they bring in more than the people that they've let out, so that they can have a competing squad. And that takes money. That takes resources. You look at the Pirates, hardly is selling players, might even loan players out. They bring in players and do all of those things. Why? Because they are not a selling club. They're trying to move forward. But if at this moment you are unwilling to say, guys, here's my team, ungahambi Toure. Here's a contract that we can give you that can keep you here for 5 years. Here's a contract, Adams, that can stop Mamelodi Sundowns from looking at you. You heard Coach Barker coming out and saying, he'd much rather go overseas at this point. No, what are you guys doing? Can't you give him something, man? Bamba. Let's make it worthwhile. That's what you need to do if you want to compete with the big boys. In fact, not only are you meant to be keeping Abu Toure, Nabo Igreinas, Nabo Adams, Nabo Titus, and all of those players, not only are you meant to be keeping those guys, you are even meant to be adding more. But like people always say to me, a lot of the PSL teams are selling teams. A lot of the PSL teams feel like they need to sell to survive. Guys, Stellenbosch is owned by the Stellenbosch Academy of Sports, which is owned by Remgro, which is owned by Johan Rupert, richest man in Africa. That's not a team that is pining for money. And I know they chose a model where they wanted to be frugal and develop and all of that stuff. Yeah, but now you're knocking on bigger doors. If you want to go compete with these guys that you guys are saying that you want to go compete with, those guys spend Ahly's budget. For example, Ahly's budget, the top team in Africa, is $88 million, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it was $88 million a season. Convert that into rands. Mamelodi Sundowns is out here buying 51 million rand players, 46 million rand players. They're bringing in about Divide Lunga, Abo Obas. They're bringing in Abo Lodge. It's bringing in to bolster the squad so they can go do what they need to go do at a high quality level. Stellenbosch, when you sell Toure, are you going to be able to bring in two players that are going to be able to give you that level, that standard when you go play in Africa? Abo Amazulu. Remember when Amazulu finished second with Benny? What was Benny's complaint? Benny's complaint was, guys, I need more funds. I need something. And Lubab Zungu said that money is the furthest problem from Amazulu, for example. So then, at what point, man, do you make the next step? At what point do we have teams that are serious enough to go? We need to go fight Sundowns. We need to go fight Ahly. Sadly, that's money. Supersport complains about resources all the time while being owned by MultiChoice. So MultiChoice, if they wanted to, could have apportioned the budget to Supersport that is far bigger, or close to, let's say close to a Mamelodi Sundowns, a thing that Gavin Hunt always complains about. We can't all be selling teams. We can't all be give it up and try and make money through these sales teams. You look at serious leagues. Manchester City spends a lot of money. Arsenal has spent a lot of money. Liverpool might not have spent in comparison to them a lot, but they've spent money in comparison to the other teams in the league. What's our buffer? Because right now, Mamelodi Sundowns is first by far. We don't even have a second place team that consistently goes into CAF competitions to go represent us. Do you guys understand that? Consistently. We don't have a consistent, okay, I'll give it to Skukune second year in a row. Supersport is usually the people that represent us, but we don't have a consistency there or a consistent growth. Supersport takes part in X amount of CAF confeds, but then every day we hear Coach Gavin Hunt complaining that these players that they're selling my best players. If Tito was here and Masego was still here and this one was still here and that one was still here, where would we be? So are we progressing and moving forward? And now I'm looking at Stellenbosch and saying, guys, you've won your first trophy. You're going into Africa proper for the first time. You've shown consistency. Now it's time to take the next step. Chigi, we hear stories of players that might be leaving. And again, it's premature, I know. They could have changed everything and then surprise us all. Who knows? But going by words, it's very worrying to hear these sentiments being shared. I love Stellenbosch. I love what they're doing down there. Marawa Shotaka, if they could get the right cash injection? The right cash injection. We could be talking a different story about Stellenbosch. Supersport, if they could get the right cash injection from their owners, we could be talking a different story. Gavin Hunt is correct. If he kept all of those players, what happens? Now, I'm not asking the whole league to go out and build mega squads and spend all of that money. But there are some teams, Cape Town City, there are some teams who are right there. and have been right there for so many years, guys. How many times have we expected Cape Town City to then have the year? How many times have we expected SuperSport to have that year? Recently, to go out and win the league and step into Africa and create a presence there. How many times have we've been waiting, man? What Pirates? We've been waiting. I'm not going to talk about that other team, but we've been waiting. Guys, our teams, if I can speak directly, guys, we need you guys with Sundowns to up the level of the game. We need more of you guys to be able to contribute 8, 9, 10 players towards Bafana. We need those things. We need you guys to take the next step so that your own teams can go out and gain the experience necessary outside, so that we can look at you and put you with Sundowns and say, yeah, I need to go and pick SuperSport players, because SuperSport players have the requisite CAF Confed, CAF Champions League experience. Stellenbosch, your players have the requisite CAF Confed, CAF Champions League experience, so that we can pick you guys and stop making it a league where you have to send those players to Mamelodi Sundowns for them to go and develop them and take them to the next level. For them to go and polish these players. And it might take a loss. It might take, guys, putting together funds and things that you don't know. It might take a blind cost that you're bringing in right now. But you know why Mamelodi Sundowns is the Mamelodi Sundowns we speak about today? It's because for whatever reason he was doing it, Patrice Motsepe was so committed to that team that he went through the teething problems, that he went through the spending things, that he went through all of that stuff with the goal to go to Africa. And he did it with the goal to be a fixture in African football. And we've heard the words. We've heard you guys speaking about, no, we want to win the league, no, we want to catch Sundowns, no, we want to go and play Champions League, look at the Sundowns example, yeah. Put your money where your mouth is. Put your money where your mouth is. Progress, grow. Coach Benny is a Manchester United coach right now. He was here in KZN. Right here, KZN, coaching Amazul. Got them to number 2. Ask for players. Ask for the next thing. Ask to move forward. Ask for chartered flights. That one we've heard from Gavin Hunt. That's how you become better. But anyway, guys, just so that I don't take too much time, our teams need to really pull up their socks. Our teams need to really show us that they're actually committed to us. And it's not just talking. It's not just for the sake of talking that they're doing whatever they're doing.